Hey, what's the deal, YouTube? It's your girl, Miss Honey. Welcome back to the channel, you guys. It is your girl, Miss Honey, here with a review for Real Housewives of Potomac. It was the night that we all had been waiting for, and that was the night that Bravo decided to show the full extent of the fight that happened between Monique and Candiace. Um, First of all, I wouldn't call it exciting as much as I thought it was gonna be. It was a little disheartening. I have to be honest with you. Like, I got those same feelings as if I was there. Like the moment this big kerfluffle happens and you're all disheveled and um, food is everywhere and glass is broken and people are milling around. Like it was it was a little bit of a melee, and I felt the stress of that. you know I will get to it with someone, but for the most part it's never physical for me. It can be. It can be depending on just how far things go. Just how far things go. My option is not to get scuffed up in any way, scratched up, or my shoes, my clothes, lose an earring. I would prefer not to do any of those things. But sometimes push comes to shove, you know. I didn't do a lot of replies back last week to my review because a lot of people feel very passionate about this situation. And for me, I just call it like I see it. Uh, I I still feel like I'm Team Monique. I feel this way because not just what we see on the show, but I follow them both on Twitter, Monique and Candiace, and on IG. And I just like Monique. I find Monique to be the more consistent one. Monique has been on this show, I think, since second season. And she has been consistent in who she is. Monique is not an individual that just flies off the handle and just wants to fight. I mean, Robin proved that when she was trying to get at Ashley a couple of seasons ago, and Monique was trying to stop her and tell her not to do that, and she was all in Monique's face, okay? And Monique didn't mollywop her. She did take that umbrella, though, and let her know right off, don't go too far. Don't do it, okay? I think she has been very clear about what her boundaries are, even when she was pregnant. And Ashley and Candiace was going back and forth, and Candiace was getting real slick at the mouth, and she was like, don't make me drag you, pregnant and all, because I'll do it. Very clear about this. She's very, very clear about it. And through this entire season, it has come to this breaking point. It has come to this boiling point, this final straw where all of the stresses, whether it is being a new mom, being a wife, being a business owner, being on this show, all of these other things that they're not even talking to us about, we probably won't even learn about until the reunion, has sort of crescendoed in this weird way because Candiace is just doing what she does. She is taunting and she is coming out the side of her neck wrong. You know what I mean? And I think Monique has given us the clues. She gave us the clues at a clue at the fireside chat that they had, and just how overblown that was for her. Like, she's at this point where not talking about it, not dealing with it, has just boiled over for her. It has. And it can happen to anybody. I'm telling you, it can happen to anybody, especially when you stressed out, right? So we pick up where we left off with this fight, and we get to see where it, I mean, technically Monique put her hands on Candiace first when she started flipping her hair. Okay, now Candiace did put the fingers in the face. Okay, but the flipping of the hair. Let me tell you something. When people playing fighting, when it's they trying to fight, you know, can't like love and hip hop style, it's different. When somebody is really angry, like you guys don't realize how powerful we are as humans. A person who is really mad can drop the temperature in the room. I'm telling you. Monique was seething mad. Monique was seething mad. The energy, you could feel it. It's no way Robin and Gizelle was standing next to her and they couldn't feel how mad she was. But you can see the looks on their faces, smiling and laughing. They were getting joy out of it. And it was because they kind of had Monique was kind of wound up thanks to Gizelle and some things she had done, and Candiace was being used thanks to some things that Gizelle had done. Everybody was like, why is she not mad at Gizelle? I don't think she knew the extent of what Gizelle had been doing at this point. She did, however, have several little birdies telling her some things that Candiace was doing, right? Again, I said last week, I don't understand why these two ladies didn't call each other and talk. If you're good friends and you're trying to figure out what's going on, like what's our objective here, like what's our motivation, like what are we doing, you're going to get with her and be like, okay, girl, what had the producers talked to you about? What was said to you? Who came to you and said this? Like, this is what was told to me. Like, they haven't tried to sort it out in an amicable way at all, which I personally think is weird. So I'm also, along with Gizelle and Charisse and whoever else these other outside entities are, I'm going to add production to that. Because it's no way in the world you going to make me believe y'all trying to get everybody together to talk and to resolve a situation, but y'all haven't put Candiace together and Monique together to talk and resolve a situation. I find that very, very suspicious. I just do. So, like I said, Monique did flip her hair. I don't know how flipping my hair would have affected me, but I would have considered it you touching my person. I'm just being honest, and y'all know I'm Team Monique. But like I said, Monique was in a different space. And anybody at that table that couldn't tell that Monique was at a different space, you're nuts. I could see Monique's energy was off. I could just feel it. Even looking through the camera, okay? She had a very focused look. when Candiace reached to push her shoulder, tap her shoulder, or whatever she did, that hair, she locked that hair and got her down, baby. And then she went to mollywopping, boy. When I tell you she mollywopped her good. And listen, she wasn't screaming. She didn't have her eyes closed. She had her eyes open. And she mollywopped her. That's why everybody was like, let her go, Monique. Because now in this moment, with the grip and with the energy and just the force at which she was pulling this human being across a table, baby, Monique is strong. Monique is very, very strong. Okay, it was at this point that they realized, okay, this is not a regular taping. Like, she mad for real. She is upset for real. We have to get her off. And I think everybody realized at that point that Monique was not here for kicks and giggles. She wasn't filming no more. She was doing this. Like, yeah, like I've had enough. Okay. And baby, when they finally got Candace, they called in the law and got the jaws of life, child. The jaws of life, and they had to, you know. Oh, they used the jaws of life to pry that claw off of Candace's wig, baby. When I tell you Candace came out of there, she looked like 6 cats. It just been scratching and clawing in her hair. She was beyond disheveled. She was beyond disheveled. It looked like she had somebody had dropped that wig down in the blender, baby, and wet it real good. She was like, "It's my wig, it's my wig." I was like, "It's your head, it's your scalp. Girl, what is your hair follicles doing right now?" They have got to be screaming for their life. They have got to be all at the back of the back of your head, like, yeah. Everybody at this moment realized it's not a game for Monique. She's dead ass, right? So they get her in the stairwell, and they trying to get Candace and that disheveled wig out and in the car, because Monique is not playing with you. Like, this is no longer, we filming, but we ain't filming like that. Like, we at this point, we gotta protect you. They won't let Monique out the stairwell. Monique go down the steps, around the building, out the side, and just as she see Candace get in that car, baby, now they follow her down the steps with a camera. They follow her outside around the building with a camera. You best cool believe they done called and told her she coming around, she coming around, she coming around. And Candace was like, "Why am I being ushered away? Why am I being ushered away?" They were like, "Get in this car." Okay? Because if Katie Kaboom come around this corner and flip this car over and drag your body out of it and start throwing it against the ground left and right, you're gonna wish you had left, ma'am. And she was like, "Okay, well, if you say so." Yeah, get in the car, girl. Get in the car and tell the man to floor it, because she on her way around here and she fixing to get you, okay? And so then they all gathered and ran and tried to stop her. I don't know why. Y'all had to know the girl was coming down the stairwell. Y'all had to know she was coming around the building, baby. And they was saying, "She's gone, she's gone." She said, "Well, then get off of me then. Well, then get off of me." And then she goes inside, and I could tell that adrenaline was starting to leave Monique. But she was still in this way where you could tell she felt a little bit of shame. She felt just a little bit of regret, but she still was very angry. She was very angry. She talked too much. This is what she's saying. She talked too much mess. I mean, and the whole time that other people were helping and trying to, gather Candace together and trying to separate Monique, Gizelle and Robin both were just standing back like, "Oh, she's a monster. Oh, she's a rogue. I was so frightened. Did you see the sheer terror in her eyes? I just, oh, oh." You guys should be ashamed of yourselves. Gizelle and Robin, you should be ashamed of yourselves. Robin, what's your purpose? This was your only scene this episode. After this, we did not see you again. Okay, you are barely on the show. When you are a point of contention. You are just carrying bones back and forth. You rarely ever get dressed, let alone do your hair. That's why I was like, Juan, your husband, or Curly Juan, you need to bump your hair every now and then, sis. Okay, you need to give it some fluff, some layers. Like what is Robin's point? What's Robin's point? Except Gizelle. Gizelle is Robin's anchor. Gizelle is who's keeping Robin on the show. Robin has zero purpose on this show. None whatsoever. Okay, none. Absolutely not. I mean, Gizelle is trying to have a purpose, but she really doesn't. Because we can't talk about Jamal. We can't bring up Jamal. All right. So let's just to my point. Let's just Candiace calls Chris from the car, and briefs him. And Monique calls her Chris from the car. He says he's embarrassed. You know, and she's like, embarrassed for who? Embarrassed for her? Embarrassed for me? He was like, I'm embarrassed. Period. That's fine. We see next day after the function, like I said, we don't really get to see Robin again, except she's on the phone talking with Gizelle as Gizelle gets her girls ready to go to Atlanta. The girls, they daddy supposedly bought them this restaurant, Arizona's, and it's the grand reopening. Apparently, I don't know if it was like a short sale or what, but they just basically took over the restaurant as is. Like, everything is the same from what I can see from the pictures. Like I said, I've eaten there many times before. Beautiful Soul and I have had dinner there together. It's the same seating. It's the same cushions on the seats. Like, that hasn't changed. I don't know if they steam cleaned everything. I'm not sure. It closed down for a minute because of COVID, but it's supposed to be reopened right now. But it just seems like everything stayed the same. Like, they just sort of came in and stepped in place. So that's why I said, was it like a short sale or what? You know what I mean? Like, they just acquired everything, because very little has changed. Like, some of those people I saw walking around, I think I recognized from Friday nights going there before, like in terms of staff and stuff. So yeah, anyway, it's a nice idea. She's gonna fly, her and the girls are gonna fly there. They're gonna stay in a hotel because of the girls, how they're feeling about what's going on between their mom and their dad. She doesn't think it's a good idea for them to stay in his home. I'm like, but when they go to see him, where they stay in a hotel? No, okay. So, because, I mean, y'all all could stay in y'all own bedroom, right? Jamal could stay in his bedroom. Y'all adults, and you can have your own bedroom with one of the girls, just like you did in the hotel. And the other two girls share their room, just like y'all did in the hotel. It could be done in his home, right? Right, but, aesthetics. She can't stay there because, he's supposed to be this pastor. Although, okay, so next day she's gonna have breakfast with her dad, and she's also gonna talk with her dad. He lives in Atlanta now, about the Jamal situation. Now, Jamal cheated on Gizelle when they were engaged. This was before they got married, just while they was engaged, okay? And it was so bad that her daddy didn't even show up to the wedding, right? When she first married Jamal. And so now here she is acting like everything is normal, everything is fine, everything is okay. And she's telling her dad, and her dad does what is expected. He does what has been told that he needs to do. See, because everything Gizelle has going on is orchestrated, right? Everyone else can get caught off guard. Everyone else can get pulled off their square, but Gizelle cannot be pulled off her square. The producers in her confessional say, how many kids does Jamal have? And she says she doesn't want to answer that because she doesn't want to speak on the children or their mothers. You know what I'm saying? She doesn't want to reflect on the children or their mothers. Okay, and she says, period, end of discussion. And that is literally the end of discussion. But you best cool believe that those producers have talked to her daddy. Probably after that breakfast, some things were said. Or probably when they was in New Orleans last season, some things was discussed. And the opportunity to bring these things up, I'm sure they did not miss it. And that's why the question was probably asked. Either that, or it was asked after her daddy's hot mic incident, and they just placed it in that place. But it's some editing and that type of stuff. They knew when they asked her that question how many kids he had. They knew what was reported, basically. And she was like, period, in the discussion. Even when they had the grand opening, it's so what's the word I'm looking for? It is so that whole situation is so underwhelming. Like, there's no love there, no bubbly, no cuddly, no sweetness. There's no genuine banter, and it's the weirdest situation. It is so obviously staged, whatever this is that Gizelle has going on with Jamal. And again, it's to both of their benefits, I think. They both are benefiting from it. She gets to act like she has a storyline, and he gets to look like he is an upstanding family man, when the fact of the matter is he is a philandering individual. He's a philanderer, and that's what it is. I just think it's really, really telling that she can shut the conversation down altogether and not have it discussed and not have it probed, even by the other ladies. They're not doing a lot of probing about this situation. They're not bringing up a lot of this stuff, and I think it's odd. I think it's odd, and I think it's very telling about who really is in charge in terms of the staff and production. So they all sit down, Jamal, Gizelle, and her dad. Every time she wants to talk about something, she sends the girls away. Also, watch the girls' faces. Watch her daughter's faces, because that oldest daughter rolls her eyes so much. She stays rolling her eyes. When Gizelle called Jamal from the hotel, or texted him from the hotel to say she was there, that daughter was like rolling her eyes, right? Watch them daughters. Them daughters' faces tell a lot. They did seem like they was serious about learning a little bit more about what was going on with the restaurant in terms of how to run it and stuff. But anyway, she tells Jamal in front of her dad that she told her dad about them getting back together, and her dad said she just wanted them to be happy, and he was like, oh, okay, good. Jamal was just like, okay, let's hurry up and get this filmed and get this done and let me move on. It's some real nice hoes in here, and I'd like to get their numbers. It's some good looking hoes up in here, and I'd like to get their number, right? Hallelujah. And the dad was like, let me run to the bathroom real quick. And he went outside the door. He said, I'm done. I think I'm done. I've done my part. I think I'm done. He said, I'm sick of this. I mean, this man's got 6 or 7 baby mamas. That's what he said. Why would she put me through this again? Now, Gizelle was like on an after show they had with like Portia and some other housewives, where they was doing like this Zoom type situation. And they said, what do you think about the hot mic? And she said, my dad is always going to be there to support me. And he does what any good father would do in supporting their daughter, period. This is the agreement. The agreement is that she will not allow and she will not bring up anything that has to do with all these illegitimate children that Jamal has. And he is going to act and play dumb and stand in like a stick figure, you know what I'm saying, like a mannequin, and look like they together. And that's what he's gonna do, so she can get this next lump of money from Bravo. It's all in the paperwork, and I can tell it. When the daddy say I've done my part, I've done everything I can do, I think that's enough, I think I've done all. He let you know it was just for filming. You guys. Come on. Ashley go ahead and hits Michael with a conversation about a post-marital agreement. And this is in addition to the 50% that she's going to get if they get a divorce, she wants some additional financial support in case he happens to trick off again. Now, we talked about this. Ashley's playing the long game. Ashley's playing the long game, okay? It is irrelevant what he's doing. She's not shocked because she cool with it. She's cool with it because she knows what she has to do to get that real money, to get at that real money, okay? She don't want just the half that she was gonna give her anyway. She want to get into that secret stash, okay? And Michael doesn't balk at it. Michael does not. He concedes. He's like, oh yeah, I think that sounds fair. Yeah, and she was like, good, right? She's got his balls. Okay, it ain't just about the cheating, you guys. She got his balls. She outsmarted him. She has outsmarted him. Okay, she has waited him out and in a way where she knows he has these proclivities. She knows she's putting this agreement in place because she know he gonna do it again. She know he gonna do it again. This ain't to keep him from doing it. She putting this in place because she know he's gonna do it. And she wants to make sure that he knows, that she knows where the bodies are buried and the loot. You don't want me to talk about the bodies? I'm gonna need that loot, okay? Got her another baby? Y'all might as well give it up to Ashley. Y'all might as well give it up to Ashley. She might have came into this thing like a dumb Tweety bird, but baby, when I tell you she has played this flawlessly to her favor, you can't do nothing but give it up to the girl. Karen is pushing for counseling and therapy between her and Ray. He's really against therapy. I think he would probably be open to seeing a pastor or something like that. But she, after she has a chef come over and do like a birthday dinner, it was so weird where the chef did the cooking and she acted like she cooked it. Like the chef was helping her, and then they forced the chef to lie a little bit about her cooking it when she just put one piece of fish in the pan. I feel bad. I just feel bad for Karen and Ray. Like, this is where they are with this forced storyline. People are saying that they thought Karen was lying, but they believe her now. Not necessarily. Anyway, she has this friend of hers that she knows that does a radio show on relationships, come over and talk with them. I don't know if the lady's got any type of accolades or degrees or certifications or whatever in counseling. She's got a beautiful radio voice, but this was supposed to be the more palatable way of getting someone there to sort of mediate between the two of them. And she asked them a lot of love-related questions, and it gets down to this place where a lot of stuff that he was saying was really true. He said he felt like once the kids was gone, she stopped cooking, so it was like she was only cooking for the kids. And I was like, oh gosh, that is yeah. I mean, he got a point. I didn't even think about it that way, but yeah. And then asked, are you still in love with him? And she says, yes, she is very much still in love with Ray, and she cannot imagine a day without him. And they asked him, and he says, well, I'm not so sure. I knew back in the day that I can say I loved her. Now that I'm at a certain age, I'm not really sure. And it's devastating for Karen. It is. She very professionally got that lady up out of there. We have some work to do, don't we? And thank you so much for coming by. And then she let Ray know that she was hurt by what he had said, even though it was his honest answer. Well, he probably is going to be a little bit hurt when he sees on camera you drunkenly talking to your girls about the fact that you had to give him money for that tax thing and you want your money back. Okay? And that's not what you signed up for. See, I think why Ray said that is because Ray knows something. I think Ray is aware of something. And I think what it is that he's aware of is that Karen's got some things going on outside of him that has been carrying on for a while. And I think whatever those things are is an issue for Ray. And it has kind of opened his eyes to who she really is. Now, she's covering up by saying because she's so busy and he's at a certain age where he wants to settle down, that, you know, there's this love struggle. I don't think that's what it is per se. I think Ray has discovered some things out about Karen. I think those things pertain to fidelity. I think those things pertain to marriage, and I think it's opening up his eyes to just how selfish she really is, just how for self she really is. She's coming across very loving and very caring, but we know that she don't cook, she not around, she stayed busy, and we know that Ray's one-eyed wonder weenie is asleep a good bit of the time, knocked out, comatose. It's got narcolepsy. It want to be up, but it stay asleep, right? Yeah. I think Karen has some stuff going on outside, and I think Ray knows about it. And I think Karen trying to keep it quiet. I think she's trying to move him past it and try to play him out like he didn't see what he thought he saw, or he don't know what he think he know. That's my opinion on this whole Ray Karen situation. Y'all tell me what you think. Y'all put it down below. Okay. When Candiace gets home from the whole fight situation, Chris is babying her like everyone does. And that's bullcrap. Monique is, I can see how stressed out Monique is, even from washing her own baby's hair. And, you know, asking her little girl how she wants it done. You know, it's different when you just get them and put their hair in a ponytail and all of that. No, she picks her own hairstyle. You know, that means a hairstyle could take you 30 minutes or it could take you 3.5 hours, right? When you letting them pick. And then try to have that conversation while she's washing her baby's hair. Her baby wants her undivided attention during this time. I could just tell by how she's moving that she's stressed out. Monique has a lot of irons in the fire. A lot of the stuff that happens in her life, she's doing it herself. Just like me and you, except after we've done it for ourselves for so long, if we had the kind of money she had, we probably would have more staff. I probably would have somebody do my baby hair. Probably. I'm not saying I wouldn't sit there while she got her hair braided, but I'm just saying I probably wouldn't braid her hair like I used to. But Monique does all of these things herself. She cooks for herself. She cleans her own home. She you know, she has a husband who has this expectation of her. It just the fact that she's back down to this really teeny tiny weight some 3 months after she's had her baby. She's got this business she's trying to make a success. Remember, they also got rental properties that she manages as well. The girl is under a certain amount of stress, and it's been boom, 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 boom. You know, she had a miscarriage, and then there was this issue about her drinking a little bit too much, and then back and forth with Ashley, and then she was pregnant just like that again, and it was just this, it's just been this thing where it's just been non-stop. I think Monique has to stop and take that cape off. I feel like all of the stress of that, and then on top of being taunted, I mean, she keeps saying something over and over again, and that is that Candiace is childish, and her mama should have popped her, and she acts like a little girl, and this type of thing. Monique feels like I'm carrying my own. I'm handling my own. I'm about my business. I'm at this level. And she's really overworking and overdoing. I think there's a part of her that envies this sort of carefree lifestyle that Candiace has, because other people are taking care of her and seeing about her. And Monique, because of her own need to control things, does a lot of the rowing herself. And these are things that she's put on herself, I think. These are burdens she's put on herself, but she's resentful of it. She's a little resentful of Chris, and she's definitely resentful of Candiace because Candiace, as opposed to being the friend that she thought she could be, she was a friend that she could sort of talk to and share all these things with. It turns out she was one of the snakes in the camp. And even if she wasn't one of the snakes, she's willing to wear the costume of a snake for the sake of befriending with Gizelle and staying on the show from a production standpoint. I believe that. I believe that Monique needs to step away and do some counseling. I don't think Monique should leave the show, but I definitely think just outside of this argument, outside of this show, I think Monique could use some counseling, because we have to learn as black women that we don't have to wear a cape. It's okay to be fragile. It's okay to be hurt. It's okay to be tired. It's okay that everything is not in place. It's okay that everything is not done. It's okay that every little stitch of hair and every piece of clothing like spot on. It's okay. The bird don't have to be potty trained. Your baby don't have to be potty trained right now. Like, take a minute, sis. Take a minute. Because it's more than just the Candiace situation. It is about you being the healthy and the best person you can be for your children and for your family. Like, that's more important than anything. That's more important than anything. And looking like you good is not good. Okay? You have to be good. Even if you raggedy on the outside, you have to be good on the inside. You got to be able to say it's okay. Like, it's not perfect, it's all right. On the inside, in order to from the inside, in order to deal with what's going on the outside, and like I said, I put this on Monique's post. I love Monique to death. I think she's a beautiful brown skinned girl. I think she's doing the darn thing. I love to see her and Chris together. She's got a beautiful family. She keeps her kids pulled together, her home pulled together. The girl is phenomenal. To me, to be able to teach a 3-month-old baby to go to the potty, come on, y'all give this girl her props. And she has been the most consistent. We have not seen Monique just be fighting out here. We've not seen that. We haven't. We have seen more in-your-face physicalities from Ashley, Candiace, and Robin than we have from anybody. I just don't understand why everybody say they can't stand Monique and she's braggadocious and all of this stuff. Listen, if you win a belt with 2 G's on it, that's bragging. If your shoes got 2 G's, a Chanel logo, that's bragging. You carrying a Fendi bag everywhere and all your luggage is Fendi and all, that's bragging. All of that is bragging. Okay? All of that is bragging. Just FYI, just putting it out there. But give this girl her props. Y'all give this girl her props. Don't do this. Don't try to throw her out and discard her because of this one incident. Because she was provoked. Period. And I do believe the truth is going to come out during the reunion. But this girl was provoked. And I can see that she was pushed to the brink. Okay, I believe the producers knows that she was pushed to the brink. I think that's why they got Candiace on up out of there and they shut it all down, because they realize this thing has gone too far. But y'all tell me what you think. Y'all put it down below. Baby, when I tell you it looks like somebody cleaned their tires with that wig that Candiace had on, baby. She looked like she had stuck her head down in a blender and wet it a little bit. And that hair, she was like, I'm fine. That wig was... Oh, it looked like Monique backcombed the hell out of that wig. Just backcombed that mother jugger. Anyway, y'all tell me what you think. Y'all put it down below. And until next time, honeybees. Mwah, mwah, mwah. I'll holla.